Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers of the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215, and today we're just going to do a random tour. I'm not going to focus on any one neighborhood in specific. Right now, we're in East Kensington, not to be confused with the infamous North Kensington, where the opioid crisis is at right now. But we're not going to do too much of East Kensington. I'm actually going to bust a U-turn coming up, and we're going to go down Fishtown. Now, my inspiration behind at least taking this journey thus far around Fishtown, I was just right here at this famous Italian water ice spot on my left. I literally just bought myself and my wife a water ice. And while I was getting parked up, let me reverse a little bit so you guys can see this trash can. There's a red trash can. The red trash can on my left hand side, there was a gentleman. He was digging in the trash can. And I watched him for a little bit before I went inside to buy my water ice. And I saw him, he was digging deep, digging hard. So I'm assuming he's hungry, right? So I get out, the first thing I do before purchasing my water ice, I walked up to him, I said, "Hey buddy, you want me to get your water ice?" He said, "Sure, man, that'll be great. I appreciate it." So I said, "No problem." So as I'm getting the water ice, I get one for me, one for my wife, now one for him. I decided to ask him, I said, "Man, what's up, buddy? Like, what are you doing out here?" He said, "Man, the dope got me messed up." He said that he just, had his skull cracked open or something, and it's fractured. I think that was the correct terminology that he used. Let's make this right here in Frankfurt. On my left, those brand new homes, those are the Kensington Court homes, selling for $400,000+. Oh, there he goes on my right hand side. He got the water ice. You alright, buddy?
Yeah, yo, you know they got a community pantry here?
Really?
Refrigerator where sometimes you can put it in juices and stuff.
You're cool though, right?
Yeah, ain't that great?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mom.
Be safe, man.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. He said thank you. I feel so bad for him. I wish I could what I still see is I see a big kid at heart. He's a very soft-spoken gentleman. He looks like he's probably in his late 40s, early 50s. Now the story is, he said that he recently fractured his skull. He was telling me how he's stuck on, what he told me was the heroin. I said, where are you from? I asked if he was out of state. He said that he's from Philly, born and raised in the Fishtown neighborhood, which is inspiring my journey coming towards, we're traveling southbound right now, and I figured I'll drive towards the Fishtown area. And he said that we're on Coral and Huntington right now. We're facing southbound, behind us is northbound, on my right is westbound, on my left is eastbound. The 2000 block of Huntington. We're traveling southbound down the 2500 block of North Coral. He said that he was born and raised in the Fishtown neighborhood. He said he's been on heroin for 28 years. But what he said was, he said the heroin today isn't like it was years ago. He said he didn't become homeless till about a year ago. And he said that it got him hooked, like the withdrawals are bad. So I told him, have you ever tried to seek help? Have you ever tried to admit yourself to some sort of like rehab? And he said that he has, but he's scared because he is really sick. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to eat this water ice too because it's melting. He says that he is really sick. Give me 1 second. Wow, it tastes awesome. Give me a second, guys. Passing Cumberland, we're on Coral and Cumberland. We just passed the Kensington High School, the original. Passing Wetterly Street. Man, it's making a mess because it's dripping. I at least have to take it past the rim so that it doesn't drip out of the cup. We're on Coral and Haggard. But you know when you eat ice cream too fast, you get like a brain freeze. Right now we're passing Boston. We're approaching York Street. So yeah. So he said that he's afraid to admit himself because the dope sticks are bad. And then I said, man, that's messed up. He said, yeah, man. He said that when he said it ain't like it used to be. I said, yeah, that's because now they're putting like fentanyl and everything in it, right? And he said, it got horse tranquilizer in it. I said, what? Like, why do you still use that stuff? He said, because I'm hooked, man. And he seemed like a pretty nice guy. And he's like, man, I appreciate you getting me the water ice. I'm like, it's cool, bro. Like, you know. So I paid for the water ice. I gave him, you know, a loose $1. That's all I had with me, but with the water ice. Because I kind of knew that if I would have given him probably any more, he may or may not have utilized it for something questionable, which can only be found blocks away. But I gave him the water ice. He was really thankful. He immediately started eating it. He said, appreciate it, bro. Thank you. And, you know, he was conversating. I saw him walk up the block. He was eating the water ice. And it inspired my journey for this tour. We're going to travel to the Fishtown neighborhood. Right now we're in West Kensington. We just exited East Kensington. Now we're in West Kensington, a separate neighborhood. This is where they shot the Rocky movie. They also shot a scene from Shooters. The Shooters movie with Mark Wahlberg. They shot it right here on this corner coming up. And they also shot another movie called The Mechanic around the corner. We're in front of Diamond. They shot The Mechanic on Hancock and Susquehanna and on Hancock and Diamond. And they shot a few other flicks around here. Hold on, that's the train passing us. Yeah, so on my right hand side, that tan building on the corner, there was a scene shot on Shooters right there. But that kind of hit me, like it kind of left me with a heavy heart, because I saw a child in him. Like his eyes were slightly cross-eyed. One eye was bluer than the other. He had colored eyes, but one of his eyes was a little bit darker than the other. He's kind of like slightly, like, I don't know if he had a lazy eye or if he was cross-eyed, but you know, to me he looked like a big kid. To me he looked like a big kid. A big kid at heart, guys. I'm gonna make this left right here. Let's make this left on north. We crossed over from the West Kensington neighborhood. On my right will be the North Square neighborhood. On my left-hand side, we will be now entering the Fishtown neighborhood. But yeah, guys, that's tough, man. And he's from this neighborhood. Like, he's a lifelong resident, and now he's stuck over there. The thing was, he's been using heroin for 28 years. That's incredible, dude. Wowzers. 28 years. I'm 33 years old, which means 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. He started using heroin when I was 5 years old. Wow. That's amazing. I gave him the $1 and I said, dude, don't go blowing it on nothing, you know, bad for you. Get yourself some water, get something to drink. He said, yeah, man, that's the most important part, taking care of the body. So at least he had some type of sense in him. And I watched him to make sure that he didn't go up the block and toss the water ice. No, he was eating. And then we happened to go around the block and we saw him. I didn't know he was still going to be there at that corner because he was walking. So I thought he kept walking out Lehigh. And when we pulled up to him, he was in a food pantry. He said, yo, dude, you know that there's a public food pantry there? And he had like a little milk, like some type of little cardboard milk carton. Like, I guess the neighborhood, you know, for the public, for people who, you know, need food or whatever, who have food that they want to probably, you know, share with others. If they have an overabundance, they put it inside that refrigerator. So I think that's pretty cool. We're passing Sepulveda. We actually just passed Frankfurt. We're in Fishtown right now, which is the neighborhood where he's from. He was so thankful. We were driving away and he's still like, thank you. And then he told my wife, he said, thank you, mommy, right? I think he said, thank you. Wait, did he say mommy? Ma. He said, thanks, ma. Which is cool, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool, but it's heartbreaking, man. We got Andy's Kitchen on my left-hand side. Norris, Memphis and Norris. Yeah, it sucks that substance abuse is taking people and holding a grasp onto them, you know, for as long as damn near 3 decades. He said 28 years. We got a military gentleman on my right working on the ATM. Wow, he's in full uniform. That's incredible. On Cedar, you see him? Wow, that's strange. That's strange as ever. Why is he in his military uniform, right? That's kind of odd. I would expect him to be in some type of vending uniform. Hey, this is Fishtown, y'all. I'm sorry, I got traffic behind me. I'm only traveling 15 miles an hour. Trying to multitask in this stick shift vehicle and eat this water ice. We're on Gall and Susquehanna. I'm gonna make this right. on Gall Street, 700 block of Gall. Now, just to paint a portrait of the Fishtown neighborhood, Fishtown is pretty family oriented, family friendly. Passing Houston, it's a great neighborhood. To my knowledge, as far as raising your children, tight knit community. We are currently passing. What's this? Laudane. I think it's a Catholic church. I couldn't really read the Old English script because I was kind of going. But yeah, it's pretty tight knit. It's primarily a Caucasian / ethnic white community, but for the most part, I mean, it's a friendly area as of 2021. I know, to my knowledge, they said in the past you would get chased out if you were a minority, but in 2021 that doesn't happen. When I was growing up, I used to come through here, that didn't happen to me. I think that was more or less like probably like in the late 80s, who knows, maybe early 90s. But it's a pretty nice area, and this is the area that he grew up in. There's not really much riffraff, not many, you know, people hanging out outside, you know. There's not much graffiti, not much vandalism, things of that nature. We made this left on Belgrade, on Montgomery and Belgrade. We just passed the cemetery. We got dazzled on my right. I'm sorry, guys, I'm still eating this water ice. And I'm still kind of touched by that dude. Yeah, it looked like he had some sort of, I don't know if it was eczema or something, like the skin on his forehead was peeling. Sucks, man. And there's tons and tons of other stories just like that. Not only in Philly, but in other cities, in other counties, and in other states. And even probably other countries across the world. When they get hooked to that substance, that substance pretty much controls their next move. Sucks, man. This water ice is awesome, though. Really awesome water ice. Passing Houston, 1400 block. I hope he was able to enjoy it, you know? Sucks, man. Passing Belgrade and Susquehanna. All it takes is one good deed, one act of kindness to shift his path. We're passing Fletcher. Oh, man. What is that, a moon bounce? They got a whole moon bounce over there. Yeah, it looks like they're having a party on the next block, yo. We're on Belgrade and Norris. Let's cross over. Wow, I got a brain freeze. Ah, my brain hurts. Ah! Yo, my brain hurts. All right, there you go. Passing Townsend. That jump went away fast, right? Yeah, they got a moon bounce on the next block. The next block is closed. This is Belgrade and Dolphin. Now, you know what's interesting? For example, we're on Dolphin right now. Dolphin runs through several hoods. And not only does Dolphin run through several hoods, but Dolphin runs through several ethnicities of hoods. So, for example, Dolphin runs through Fishtown, through West Kensington, and or North Square, through a little bit through Hartranft, through Glenwood, through, to my knowledge, I believe Strawberry Mansion. We're passing Dolphin and Almond, etc., etc. Passing through a couple neighborhoods, right? We're passing Mercer now, Dolphin and Mercer. And through those neighborhoods, Dolphin Street sees different races of people. Right now, Dolphin Street in Fishtown will see primarily Caucasian people. Dolphin Street in North Square will see mainly Puerto Ricans or Hispanics. Dolphin in, oh, there's another black party on my left. Dolphin and Hartranft will see the transition from Puerto Ricans. There'll still be some Spanish people, but it'll see the transition from Hispanics to African Americans, and so on through like Glenwood. You know what I mean? Like Lehigh. Lehigh has the same thing. Or Girard, for example. Girard around Northern Liberties and around Fishtown is ethnic whites. Girard around Broad Street and probably even farther, like 16th, 17th, 18th Street. Well, then again, Girard, 16th, 17th, 18th Street, that's where Girard College is at. But probably more around 20th, 25th Street. But y'all get what I'm talking about. Pretty much, they pay attention to traffic because I got traffic. This is the entrance to the 95 right here in front of us. They're actually working on it. It was slightly different. It had a different layout, but the last 7 years, I think, they've been changing this right here on my left. That's the entrance to the 95. They've been hooking it up. We got JR's on my right hand side. It's a bar, JR's Saloon, passing Norris Street. I could have just went down Norris. I should have went down Norris, but it's cool. I'm gonna keep going straight. We're about to hit Girard. Yeah, it was super humid today, guys. The humidity today was, I think, 56%, which is, for me, killer. We weren't doing nothing. I was trying to shoot a video for my Toon Be Chillin' channel, TOONBECHILLIN, Toon Be Chillin'. Let's make this right on the 200 block of Fletcher. There's new construction on my right-hand side. And yo, let me tell you how I wasn't doing nothing but standing there talking. I wasn't even holding up the camera. And I was dripping sweat like a faucet. Bloop, 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 bloop. My camera operator, she was damn near about to have a stroke. It was hot and we weren't doing nothing. And look, it's shady. You would think, all right, it's shady, it's cool. We're on Fletcher Street and Moyer Street. That goes to show you, look, this is Fletcher. But what does Fletcher sound familiar from? If you've been paying attention, the Fletcher Street Cowboys from the movie Concrete Cowboys. So Fletcher Street right here is in a Caucasian neighborhood, but go up to Strawberry Mansion, Fletcher Street is in a African American, or like some people say, Black American neighborhood. So that goes to show you how the street can just change within a matter of a few miles. Because we're probably less than 2 miles away from Strawberry Mansion, passing Mercer. That was a nice little tiny block. I should have went through it. Let's make this left right here, Susquehanna and Thompson. Yeah, I'm just gonna zigzag through here for a little bit. I'm not gonna stay in Fishtown, but I just want to show you some of Fishtown. Fishtown's pretty nice for the most part, you know. Fishtown, hold up, I think I have a piece of rubber rubbing on my front. I hear, let me listen. Yep. All right, guys, you guys gonna have to forgive me. I'm gonna have to get out the vehicle. Hold on, I hear a noise. Give me a second, let me make sure. Something sounds like it's rubbing. I think that's my splash guard. It's in the wheel well. And I ain't got no shirt on, so y'all probably gonna see me free balling. Saying I ain't free balling. But let me put the shirt over my shoulder so y'all don't look at my boobies. I don't know if y'all saw me. Yo, stop beeping! Relax. Relax. Somebody in a BMW from Jersey is rushing a little Volkswagen from PA. Goes to show you. We got the Fishtown cleaners on my right hand side, Beer City and all that stuff. We're on Girard Avenue. We got a beautiful view of the city in the center of Girard. If you look straight up the road, you'll see it. I'm gonna make this right on Burks. This is Burks, 1200 Burks. Beer City, Fishtown, USA on my right. 600 East Flora Street on my left. Yeah, so as long as I've recalled Fishtown has been a pretty clean neighborhood. Like I said, right now it's high price, $700,000, $600,000, $800,000 properties. A lot of the old ones are still going for $400,000, $300,000 and up. Right now it's an area that is being gentrified on the western half, the western hemisphere. I would say around Frankfurt. This area is pretty much still the same. There's still some slots that are being bought out and either rehabilitated or just made new from scratch. But yeah, it's a pretty good neighborhood. And to think that he came from this neighborhood and now he's struggling, you know what I mean? Oh, look at that Mitsubishi Montero on my right. My pop had the same John before. It looks like the G-Wagon, but it's not. It's a Mitsubishi. I used to call it the Crocodile Hunter. But yeah. Sucks. There's more that I would like to do, but it's like when it comes to intervention and all of that, that has to be desired from within. The human being, go ahead. You're more than welcome. I think her daughter was a little nervous, so I'm gonna let her go. Yeah, it looked like she was a little scared to cross. I'm gonna make this left on Miller, since it's a small block. Why not? Yeah, we got a nice little small block. Look at, for the most part, look at this block. The facades are pretty uniform, pretty clean brick pointing. The sidewalks, there's not much trash, if any. The bags that you do see is because there's probably trash there. What are we on? What is today? Today's Saturday. So they probably had trash there, but I know this past week trash got picked up late. So that's probably why there's still some leftover trash. You see flowers, flower pots, one-sided parking. But overall, it's a quiet block. There's not many people out. It's currently 7:14 p.m. Eastern time on a Saturday afternoon. So that goes to show you, it's a Saturday afternoon. It's Sunday tomorrow. Nobody really work. Or if they do, probably half the block don't work tomorrow. You would think people would be outside hanging out. Nobody's playing music. You don't hear ding 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 ding. You don't hear no like, it's a nice quiet ambience. That's the, what you call them across the street? The cemetery. I'm gonna make this left here. Gotta be cautious. Traffic coming from my right. And then I'll make this turn. Not too wide, not too sharp. Alright, we're on Belgrade and Montgomery. I'm gonna go straight in the block and then I'm gonna make a right. Well, back in the day in Philly, the neighborhoods were really segregated. Like, you couldn't get crossed out. Or, let me rephrase myself. You couldn't cross a neighborhood. I sounded like I was talking about graffiti. You couldn't get crossed out. But you couldn't cross a neighborhood without getting into some drama. Like, my pop was talking to me the other day, and he was telling me how back in the day, how, like, if you would cross a boundary, for example, if, let's say you were a Puerto Rican, right? You would cross a boundary. Let's make this right-hand turn on Montgomery and Thompson. We got a middle school right here on my left-hand side. I keep forgetting the name. I forget that name all the time when I drop by. My friend went to it. My wife's pop went to it. I know a lot of people that went to it, and I can't remember it. Oh, it's Penn Treaty Middle School. There you go. Yeah, because we got Penn Treaty Park right around the corner. Passing Ear Street. But my pop was telling me that, for example, if you were Puerto Rican and you crossed over, or you did something bad, let's say you were spray painting on a wall, and you were in the hood. We're on Thompson and Palmer. I'm gonna make this right on Palmer Street. That the cops would pick you up and drop you off into the Caucasian neighborhood as punishment. So they would bring you over to Fishtown and leave you here, because basically that was gonna reprimand you. Because if you were Puerto Rican, you were walking by a basketball court and there was a bunch of Caucasian young fellows playing ball, they would see you, hey, look at that Puerto Rican, let's chase him out. And they'll throw rocks at you. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't live it. I didn't experience that day and age. And then he said, assuming the same would happen vice versa. Like if, you were African American or if you were of Caucasian descent, I don't know if they would take you from Fishtown, they would drop you off in like the hood, in like Fairhill or whatever. Palmer and Belgrade, let's keep going straight. But then again, you got to keep in mind too that at one point Fairhill, like a lot of Cambria, a lot of different areas in North Philly were also some sort of Caucasian, whether it was a German, whether it was Irish, whether it was a variety of other, Italian, variety of other ethnic white nationalities or races. So, to my knowledge, I believe in the 70s. I could be wrong. You guys are more than welcome to contribute your knowledge to the comment section. So you can teach other viewers across the World Wide Web. But To my knowledge, Puerto Ricans came to Philly in abundance in like the late 60s, early 70s. I think the 70s is really when the Puerto Ricans started coming into Philly. I could be wrong, but I believe it was the 70s. The African Americans, the minority African American descent, Black Americans, been here, I guess, before then. You know, I'm guessing before then. And there was a lot of Germans and all of those other ethnic white races. I don't even know if you would consider a German an ethnic white race, but I'm just using ethnic white as a term to say people of pink porcelain complexion. You know, because I don't really like using the term white, because the car on the right hand side is white. You see that Honda right there? That's white. I don't know nobody that's that white color, so that's why I don't say. It doesn't sit well to me to say, look at that white person, or look at that black person. You know why? Because I don't know a single person, at least personally, that is the complexion of that black Suburban on my right hand side. Look, that's black. I don't know nobody that your hair might be black. You might have black hair. Your pupil might be black. Your sneakers might be black, but your skin is not. You know, so. But you know, some people who have traditional methods of thinking, who have been programmed to believe one thing and live one way, will beg to differ and say, "Tune, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy." Oh, I agree. I'm not Miss Cleo. I'm not a fortune teller, but I do my best just to roughly touch base on a few bullets, bullet points, and that's it. And the bullet point for today is drugs don't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're Caucasian, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're African American, if you're Asian, if you're Hindu, if it doesn't matter what you are. There's people in all walks of life dealing with substance abuse issues. It doesn't even matter your class, because you got millionaires that use some of the best quality, drugs and in abundance. That would have a $200-300 a day coke habit. Versus the average Joe who could only afford a dime bag or 20 bag a day or whatever. I'm just making an example. This is an example, guys. Probably a bad example, but it's an example. So this is a little neighborhood that gentleman came from. Look at this little cool little tiny car on my left-hand side. Wow, that thing is so tiny. Look at it. It got a tow hitch. What are you gonna tow with it? Like a Fisher Price little trailer? Wow. I'm sorry, I had a car behind me. The car, I just realized when I looked at my rear view, it was trying to go over me. Okay, I can't go right. I'm gonna go straight. We're on Belgrade and Columbia Ave. Columbia Ave is also Cecil B. Moore Ave. Passing 400 block of Livingston. We got a baseball field on my left-hand side. I'm gonna make this right-hand turn coming up. I'm gonna turn right. So 300 East Thompson. Yeah, so sucks. I know drugs have been around forever. People have been using drugs since the Indian days, right? Since the Egyptian days, they were using drugs to treat illnesses in a medicinal way. Passing Thompson. Even doctors, even Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola back in the day, they used to use what? Coke. Coca-Cola. Doctors would utilize opioids for like teeth and all of that. Let's make this right on Marlboro. I believe in the dentistry field, if they needed to numb you for pain or whatever reason, yeah. Even still to this day, you get into a crazy accident, you fracture several ribs, you break a arm, you break an ankle, and all that happens at one time, they're gonna prescribe you some Perk 30s. You know what I mean? And to my knowledge, that's one of the main things. Well, not one of the main things, but that's one of the leading causes to people entering. And I'm not even gonna say that. That's probably a bad phrase. That's one of the factors that get people into substances. Not everyone, but I know personally a few people who utilize Perk 30s for pain, and it ended up becoming a recreational choice. It went from utilizing it for their back pains, for their medical reasons, to them going through withdrawal if they have not had the substance, and it's just a pill, just a boring little pill, but people find joy in it. Good, you're more than welcome to go, buddy. One thing that I learned, because I've had about, I would say 17 years of substance abuse with the reefer when I was younger, and I'm proud to say right now that I'm substance free. I never even got into cigarettes. Cigarettes was never my thing. I never tried a cigarette a day in my life. Somehow I jumped that and went straight into the greenery. But I was never a big drinker. I was never a pill popper. And the only thing that I ever got into was Mary Jane. But we're passing Fishtown Wellness Center on my right, Belgrade and Earl. But most recently, I've been able to stop utilizing that substance also, and I've been just, what you can say, high off of life. And I'll tell you from experience, I used to use it for my back pain. I used to use it for my emotional trauma. I used to use it for creativity. I used to use it for just joy, for recreation, because I wanted to goof off and laugh, and because it was the social norm. So that's why I was using it. I can't explain why anybody else was using it, but that's why I was using it. And it goes to show you that I was able to kick their habit. I'm not gonna say it was the easiest thing in the world, but when I put my mind to it and I put my willpower to it, I realized that the only thing that I needed was to get my mind straight. I wanted to be clear. I wanted to be sober-minded. Sober-minded. I felt like I was able to conquer more with a sober mind. Many people who are still on substance abuse, like that young gentleman that we just saw, who was older than me, might I know, you never really know why he got into it. He could have been abandoned. He could have been abused. He could have been he could have been in an accident. You never really know why people. And at that 28 years ago, that could have been the social norm. That could have been the weed. Not saying that we got him into it, but let me give you an example. We're passing Miller, 600 block on Miller Street. You know how in some neighborhoods social norm is drinking. Some neighborhoods social norm is smoking cigarettes. Some neighborhoods social norm is snorting coke. Like, you probably go to the Hollywood Hills. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Even though I have been to the Hollywood Hills. You guys know. Tune stamp certified. I've been to Hollywood. But no. We're passing Berks and Gall. You might go to an area and methamphetamine might be the social norm. You might go to another area and blues, Xannies might be the social norm. You might go to another spot and wet, and embalming fluid, mint leaf and all that might be the social norm. Sherms and all that. It all depends what's the social norm. So you never know if he got into it when it was the social norm and everybody was shooting. Everybody was shooting up. Like, it was a party and it was like, come on, dude, try it. Dude, you would love it, man. Like, it's so gnarly, like tubular, radical, bodacious, man. No, I'm kidding, but you know what I mean? Like, we're passing Houston. So sometimes, I'm gonna make this left right here, because Houston is a little block. And I'm gonna show y'all these little blocks in Fishtown. We're still in Fishtown. We're actually about to exit Fishtown shortly. But this was a cool random tour, because like I said, it came up out of nowhere. I didn't think I was actually about to just go cover like the hood, but when I went to go pick up that water ice, that just happened. And I guess they say everything happened for a reason. I think we're touching base on a powerful social topic, something that people don't talk about often. Yeah, some people don't talk about often. A lot of people feel alone. That's why they get into substance abuse. A lot of people feel alone. A lot of people feel depressed. A lot of people feel emotionally hurt, emotionally traumatized. Some people be bored. Sometimes substance abuse gives them a little bit of entertainment while taking away all of their entertainment. Because I remember when I was under the influence, I didn't like to do anything unless I was under the influence. Like, everything, there was a saying, like, everything is better when you're high, man. Like when you're eating, when you're watching movies, when you're riding a bike, when you're doing anything. You're on a roller coaster, you're like, doing the do, and when you're like doing it, you know what I'm talking about. When you're like when you're doing it, like everything is just so much better, right? But then it's like when you're not under the influence, or at the time in my case when I wasn't under the influence, I didn't care about doing the basic things that I used to love, like video games. I had stopped playing video games for 10 plus years because it became boring. I had stopped doing, you know, things that I used to love because I prioritized what I would call substance abuse. A lot of people say, Tune, it's not substance abuse, dude. Some people won't even call it a drug. Some people will say, if you don't gotta cook it up, boil it up, or do no, you know, crazy stuff, then it's not a drug, dude. It comes from Mother Earth, and it comes, bro. There's not a, well, there's an air conditioner there. That's free money, woohoo! But I don't scrap no more. So, but there's not a way you can try to constructively persuade me, because I've been there, I've done that. Like I said, 17 years isn't 28 years like this guy had. But I had 17 years of substance abuse. And when I get to substance abuse, the reason why I call it substance abuse is because it was wake up, bake up, lunchtime, afternoon, midday, evening, dinner, before dinner, after dinner, nighttime, before I went to sleep. If I woke up in the middle of the night, I would grab the clip, and yeah, that's abuse. That's abuse. When I was in college, I would get roasted before I went into class. When I would come out of college, I would get roasted. You know, lunch break at work, I would get roasted. Going to the movies, I had to get roasted. Going to a music park, I had to get roasted. Hanging with my friends, I had to get roasted. It was roasted. It just got boring. It got boring. I got bored of it. Me, personally. I know there's a bunch of people that's still exploring and having fun and enjoying it. I'm not trying to shoot down your cloud, literally, right? You're a cloud, but we're passing Ear Street. But I know one of the reasons why I utilize the substance is because I first tried it when I lost one of my favorite uncles when I was 15 years old. Yeah, one of my pop's brothers passed away, and I carried him out the house in a body bag. Me and a few of my cousins, because the coroners were too weak and they couldn't take him down the steps from the second floor to the first floor, so we didn't want him to drop him, so we carried him. And that's when I decided to experiment. And I had lost several other family members, cousins, friends, and family to gun violence, so I had a lot of questions in my life. We're passing Frankfurt and Oxford. Yeah, I had a lot of questions in my life of why, and I didn't have answers. We're passing Marlboro, Frankfurt. There's pizza pie on my left-hand side. They make good pizza, yo. You see Welcome to Fishtown on my left? Now, this is the gentrified area of Fishtown. Remember I was telling you? A lot of people say that we're passing Jefferson. They say that yuppies are moving in, or hippies, or whatever terminology you guys want to use to describe these human beings that are moving in. But they're coming in from all over, and they're using this as like the Mecca, like the nightlife area, like the day life, like talking about Brazilian waxes. Look at, talking about like just sitting outside, outdoor dining, hanging out, chilling. This is their go-to spot now. When 10, 15 years ago, it was desolate to an extent. The lifelong Fishtown residents were always here, passing Lutheran Settlement House on my right. But a lot of these little parlors on my left, and all these little places that got opened up, they weren't here. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Passing Mercer. So I know from my reasoning, there was something incomplete in me. I was incomplete. And then by the time that I got a chance to realize what was happening, by the time I got a chance to realize that I was hooked or that I was addicted, it was too late. Because I accepted it and I treated it as a social norm. You know, it's like you go to somebody's house and everybody has a drink. Yo, dude, let me buy you a drink. Like, I've never been a drinker. But yo, dude, let me buy you a drink. Nah, my twist was like, I'll roll up. I used to always stay with like a half an ounce in my pocket. Always like a quarter ounce, a half an ounce. I would always stay with something. But one day I realized, you know, it was taking a toll on my teeth. It was taking a toll on my gums. It was taking a toll on my oxygen system, which is how I breathe. It was taking a toll on my mental state of mind. It was bad. It was bad for me in my case. For you, it might be great. For me, it was very costly. Let's make this right on Frankfurt and Girard. This is Fishtown, but this is like one of the corners where they really brought back to life. And it's a lot of people that come and hang out here, as you can see. But it was tough, guys. It was really tough, and I was able to overcome it. Not once, twice. I think like three or so times. Like I like dipped and dabbled and experimented. I experimented with what sobriety was like, and it got to the point. I'm embarrassed to say that I was under the influence for so long that being sober was like the new under the influence. Cause I didn't remember what the real world felt like. It was like when I first got wasted, it was like cloudy and it was like virtual reality and it was like the Matrix and everything felt unreal. All right, right now on my right we got Old Kensington. We left Fishtown already. On my left we got Northern Liberties. Let's just drive up 2nd Street and see what's popping in Northern Liberties. But when I first got wasted, like it was a whole new world. Like it was crazy. And then I was doing it for so long that when I would be sober for more than a couple days, like, mind you, that would very, very rarely happen. I would always, basically, I would be under the influence so much you wouldn't be able to tell that I was under the influence. That's how much control I had of it. Basically, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like, you would look at me and I would look normal. I would still articulate myself. I would go to meetings. I would go to big meetings and talk in front of people, and you would not be able to tell. I would write huge essays. I would execute all my projects. Because one of my arguments was that it made me more creative, which I admit, like, there's a lot of like the Dalai Lamas and a lot of the Hindus and a lot of like sorry, I got a hiccup. A lot of music producers and everything, they say that they, medicate and then it gives them creativity. It's true. It makes your mind think like outside of the box, but I think that was always inside my mind. I just didn't know how to tap it. Now I know how to unlock it. Look at on my left and on my right, we got a little outdoor eating environment. This is 2nd Street, Northern Liberties. This is our latest addition to the city. We got people coming from all over to come and hang out here. Go ahead, ma'am, you're more than welcome. She wasn't gonna wait anyway. She was gonna help herself in. But yeah, guys, so I'm able to freely talk about this right now because I've battled my demons. I've overcame my hurdles. And in case anybody else needs to hear these words of wisdom, it's not easy, but I know with courage, with willpower, with patience, perseverance, progress, and all the other P's that go along with it, it's possible. And I'm gonna ride this wagon as far as the wagon takes me. I'm gonna ride this wagon until the wheels fall off. Because being sober for me is the new high. Being high off of life. And a lot of people watch my tours and watch my videos and they say, this dude has to like smoke a joint before he goes and talks to himself for an hour. No, bro, like this is just me. Like I'm just goofy. I'm naturally goofy. I'm naturally full of life. I like to have fun. I'm naturally creative. I have my ups and downs. I'm like any other human being, but I've learned how to deal with my downs a lot better in my older years. They say wisdom comes with age. We're passing Poplar. Wisdom comes with age. So as I got older, I became more wise and I learned how to deal with my troubles. A lot of these people, like the gentleman in the beginning of this video, he might be 40-something years young, but he don't know how to deal with his troubles. The only way he knows how to deal with it is substance abuse. We're passing Brown, 2nd and Brown. Yeah. That's the bad part about it. Some people don't know how to deal with it. I'm gonna make this right on 2nd and Fairmount. We got cafes on my right and on my left. It has to start from within. That's why I said it It has to be a burning feeling, a desire inside your heart to want to clean up. No matter what you're on, whether you're an alcoholic, whether you're on over the counters, whether you're on illegal under the ground, you're on one of the heavy. I know the heavier substances are harder to stop. Passing Bodine, because we're passing 3rd and Fairmount now. They hit the nerve system a lot differently. Like they make you crave them, they make you yearn them, and then you go through withdrawal and all that. Like from what I hear with perk 30s, I ain't never used them, but I always heard that it gives people the itches. People get itchy. People get stomach pains. They get like the diarrhea stomach. They get the sweats. Like they genuinely go through withdrawal. Yeah. And it's crazy. We're on 4th Street. West African Grill on my left-hand side called Suya Suya. On my right-hand side, right here at this building, 407. It used to be WCRP, Women's Community Revitalization Program, and I used to be a part of that board. Yeah, I used to be a part of it. And they were pretty friendly people. And I'm sure you could already imagine how I attended those meetings. But nobody, could tell. And that's how I got a better idea of what the future was going to look like for this area of Philly. We got a chance to look at the land bank, and we got a chance to see what land was for sale, what land was staying community, what land was going up to investors, and more. Like on my left, this whole new complex on my left is brand new buildings. Foot and ankle specialist, but that's like a whole little strip of new houses. That was a little warehouse, I think a little window factory or something. They literally knocked it down a few years ago and made those houses. We're on 5th and Fairmount. If we go straight and we make a left, and then we make another left on Spring Garden, I'm gonna do it just for y'all. We're in the Ludlow community right now. This is the Ludlow neighborhood. If we make a left, well, actually, no BS. On my right-hand side is the Ludlow neighborhood. When we cross Girard, this is the Poplar neighborhood. My bad. Yeah, Poplar. If we go 3 blocks down to my right on 5th and cross over 5th and Girard and all that, that's the Ludlow neighborhood. But yeah, and that goes to show you, like, I pretty much, even though I was dipping and dabbling with the devil's lettuce, I'm gonna make this left right here on 6th and Fairmount. I was still educating myself. I was still baby Albert Einstein. I was still doing, I was still like, that's how I would justify it. It was like, dude, as long as you finish college, as long as you finish this, as long as you do that, as long as you work, as long as you work a hard, long day, as long as you do good for yourself, as long as you own this, you own that, then you're good. Enough is wrong with it. That's what I used to tell myself. Look at these new houses on my left-hand side. And I'm blessed and fortunate to not get stuck on anything else. Like, cigarettes. I know they say cigarettes is harder to stop. I know people who smoke 2-3 packs a day. Alcohol, I've never been an alcohol drinker. I used to drink it like occasionally for parties and all, but it never really stuck. You know how some people love it, they can wake up and drink a beer. OMG, I cannot do that. It's like bum juice. I can't wake up and drink a beer. I can't go to sleep drinking a beer. No. It tastes horrible. Right here on my left. Alright, so let me tell you the story right here on my left. We're on 6th and Spring Garden, real quick. There's a development on my left right now happening. Look, I'm gonna point the vehicle to the left. You guys see that lot with the gates? That was built on top of a cemetery. Now, they just started erecting the ground, lifting the ground up. They found bodies under the ground, guys. It was just on the news about 4 days ago. They found bodies from the 1800s to 1700s from the churches that used to be here. And they never removed them and put them somewhere else. So now they can't proceed with the project until the church gets in contact with the descendants of those bodies and figure out what they want to do with the bodies. So that goes to show you that that's how bad this building is getting. And that goes to show you, I used to go to this dollar store that was in this plaza and the Subway and all that plenty of times when I was a kid. I never not once knew that it was built on a cemetery, but there was bodies under, and that's how a lot of Philadelphia is. There's different areas of Philly where back in the day there was cemeteries everywhere, and they were just building them right on top of cemeteries. Like I think the new Edison High School, I think was built on top of a cemetery too. I'm not sure, but I know right across the street is cemeteries. Right up the block you got Greenmount. So we're on 5th and Fairmount. Look at the design on that building right now on my right hand side. It reminds me of like some Disney World type of enchanted castle stuff. You see it right up top? It looks like a Hershey's Kiss. But yeah, guys, you got Parmigiana on my left hand side. It's a lunch and dinner spot. Brunch, lunch, and dinner restaurant. But this neighborhood right now is highly sought after. This is bordered, on my right is Northern Liberties, on my left is the Poplar neighborhood. But even Ludlow and even Old Kensington, these are all within, you know, a few square mile perimeter of neighborhoods that people are moving in a rapid pace. Like on my left, look at a brand new building. Look on my left. The two buildings on the corner, they built next to the little 2 stories on the far left. So they literally, that was just a lot right there. That person, I don't know if they sold their yard or if they didn't own the yard and somebody bought the yard. Let me make this left here. So y'all can see this little private complex right here. It's not a complex. It's like a little private block, but it's right off of 5th Street. These houses on my left, at one point, these were like the shot. Like, yeah, man. I'm sure back in the late 90s and in the early 2000s when they made these, they were, you know, ahead of their time. They had the little driveways. They were like Northeast style homes. Driveways, little garages, little private, you know, cul-de-sac area where it's off a street, so you know you have your own privacy. But now look at, they gentrifying the area, and it's changing the dynamics of the way the houses look, the area looks. In front of us, we got a bunch of original houses. See the 2 stories on my right? They look like old town home styles. See the 3rd floor got the attic window, and on my left you got the 3 stories. We got the poly foam and rubber spot right here. Cats on my left. Thank you. Some dude let me go by, so I said thank you. Right here on my right, Cats, vinyl, upholstery, and fabrics. I love going there. If you're ever in Philly and you need pleather, you need vinyl, you need fabric, carpet, rug, you need any type of material to wrap a seat, to wrap a kitchen, a chair, to wrap your sofa, to wrap a speaker deck, speaker board, to do custom upholstery, you would want to stop there because that's where they have the stuff available. So on my left, we got the Poplar neighborhood. I'm not gonna go down Poplar, but I will go down this little tiny block right here so you guys can see this little tiny block. I think it'll be interesting for you guys to see it. This is a little teeny weeny block. This is in Northern Liberties right now. Got a car behind me, so I would love to drive slower. We're doing 5 miles an hour, but he's like trying to get past me. I don't know where he thinks he's gonna get past me. We got people in front of us walking, so it's not like I can rush. I just wanted to show you guys this little tiny block. So it's a little cute little block, and there's some nice houses over here coming up at the corner. Look on my right and look on my left. This is St. John Newman Way. That's the name of this little alleyway. Lawrence and St. John Newman Way. Look, we got this female walking in the street. She's holding her husband's hand, her boyfriend's hand, whoever's hand. Then we got these other 2 young females in front. They're probably besties. Yeah, as you can see, you really pretty much got to go over like the sidewalk. It's a 2-way street. Yo, the dude's dog is taking a dump right there in front of us. You better slow down, buddy. You better slow down. And he was out. We kind of got to share this little road. Yo, this dog just took a huge dump. This dog right here. Don't he look like Beethoven? He look like Beethoven. That's a cute dog. The owner picked up his poop, which is very civilized of him. Ouch. And a microwave out here. Wow, I just saw an air conditioner and a microwave. That's 2 pieces of scrap metal. I could have done made 40 bucks already. Yeah, so as you can see, people use these little back blocks to walk through, but this is an actual block. It is a 2-way street. We are allowed to drive through it. But since it's so small, they figure might as well just walk in the middle of the street. Now I can keep on going straight. On my left, it looks like there's people sitting outside drinking. Wow, I'm so curious. But I want to go left because this is a nice block too. But I'm going to go straight and we're going to see these people on my left drinking. There's people right here on my left drinking. You'll see, I'm going to go slow. Look right here on my left hand side, they chilling. They're having a little a little event. Yeah, they were out there. It was like 8 people. Kind of like a little gathering, a little get together in Northern Liberties, drinking and enjoying themselves. Alright, now this turn right here is going to have to be a little wide, because if you go sharp, I'm going to hit the Honda that's on my left. So I got to calculate the turning radius accordingly. And there's traffic on my right, so that's a bad spot to park, really, to be completely honest with you. Look at this Impala on my left hand side. So, yeah, guys, that's the scenario. We're on 3rd and George. No one's perfect. I think we're all perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect. Something like that, you know? But as long as we accept our flaws, we understand our mistakes, and we try to become better than we were yesterday, there's always room for growth. Every day as human beings, we're learning. I'm 33 now, I'm still going to be learning at 63. I'm still going to be learning at 83. Never stop learning, never stop educating yourself, never stop teaching yourself, never stop believing in yourself. If you're having any issues with substance abuse, sometimes you just need a friend to talk to, a family member. Sometimes you just need to talk to yourself. You need to talk to the inner child. Sometimes it's like you're better off getting on a flight, getting on a one-way plane ticket to some small town and letting you go through withdrawal in some other town. You know, 100,000, that's exaggerated. I'm gonna say 100,000 miles away. But figuratively speaking, just get away and get away from the easy. There you go again. The same person, he didn't even stop. Like, he just went straight into the stop sign. That was the same one that literally was coming with us playing chicken earlier. And he just waved. He said, like, he put his arm up and said, hey, thank you. Like, buddy, like, what if we didn't slow down? I don't think we even had a stop sign. He had the stop sign. But anyway, it's cool. Yeah, the good old days. Now I get a little dopamine hit, or I get a little, you know, dopamine is that chemical that your brain emits that gives you enjoyment, satisfaction. Now I get a little adrenaline hit when I do things that I enjoy. Whether it be riding my supermoto, whether it be wheeling my scooter, whether it be riding the little e-scooter, whether it be driving my car, my Civic, whether it be, you know, working on a car, whether it be hanging with somebody that I enjoy hanging with, whether it be eating a favorite food, whether it be drinking a favorite beverage, that's alcohol free of course, whether it be hanging with my dog and taking her for a walk. You know, you got to find things that you enjoy to replace that empty void. We're crossing over, and now we're crossing Girard. We're 5th and Girard. On my left is, ooh, thunder. Y'all hear that? It's about to start pouring. It is currently 7:51 p.m., guys. So on my left, we got the Ludlow neighborhood. On my right, we got the Old Kensington neighborhood. Old Kensington, which is almost 2 miles away, 1.5 miles to 2 miles away from North Kensington, which is where that opioid crisis is at. But it's not far at all. It's not close, but it's not far. But it's 2 separate neighborhoods. Because Old Kensington, after Old Kensington, it's North Square. Then after North Square, it's West Kensington. Then it gets to North Kensington. So that's like, you know, a couple neighborhood difference. Driving down 5th Street. Gonna merge into the left lane. We're traveling northbound. Behind us is southbound. My left is westbound, and my right is eastbound. We're at 5th and Jefferson. Got lots on my right hand side, which will probably get rehabilitated soon. This factory on my left hand side, it got turned into like several businesses. Countertop, kitchen cabinets. Yo, y'all saw that lighting? That was decent. We got it on camera. Billy Penn Studios. Wow, you hear that charger? Or that was a Challenger, my bad. Business for sale on my right hand side. The Libertad Liberty Bar Lounge. We're at 5th and this is Oxford. It's about to start raining, guys, but with that being said, we reached our 1 hour mark. I just wanted to talk to you guys randomly. I wanted to create a closer relationship, a little closer bond, a little closer sense of communication. This is your homeboy, Mr. Tune. Please show some support. Hit that thumbs up button. Comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your memories. Let me know your knowledge. Let me know your battles. Let me know any of your trials and tribulations you're facing now and or have faced in the past. Share this video if you can. Sharing will be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification bell because we're going to be giving away an e-scooter, a brand new Go Trax electric scooter when the Tune 215 YouTube channel hits 50,000 subscribers and when the Tune Be Chillin' TOON BECHILLIN YouTube channel reaches 1,000 subscribers. One lucky winner out there is going to get a chance to win the scooter. Feel free to cop up on some Tune 215 merch. We got Tune 215 watches and we got Tune 215 keychains and we got a few more Tune 215 products in the near future to come. Thank you all. I appreciate your patience. Gee golly, I might say so myself. Did I sound like Woody Woodpecker? But anyway, y'all, this is Mr. Tune. Tune 215, Tune Dollars, Tune Ski, Tuner, Tuning Magoonie, Bad Tune, Super Tune, Tunage. Did I say Tunism? Tuning Califragilistic Expialidocious. Y'all know Tune be chilling, right? And I'm tuning out.